Hey guys, today we're going over the class changes that are coming up Tuesday. There are huge buffs and nerfs, so make sure you guys stick around. So we got the Druid section right here. Restoration looks like they're getting a bit of a nerf. Yeah, the Verdancy heal was extremely strong. I'm glad they're nerfing that. They were kind of dependent on it almost because of how strong it was. Mage, Fire. Huge buffs on Mage. 5% to all abilities, just a flat up 5% damage buff. Mistweaver, increased critical strike while above 50% health, was 80%. Wow, that is huge. That is a lot more room. Holy Paladin Barrier Faith now accumulates 50% of effective flash of light. Was 40%. That's good because Holy Paladins definitely needed it. If you guys haven't seen my recent Crusader film. Priestess, flash heal increased by 25%. Renewing heal increased by 25%. Thank God, because Disciplined Priest, like whenever you fought another melee comp, it felt like you just fell over right away. Like they just could not heal the pressure, especially if you were a melee comp too. Increased by 100%. Damn, that's a huge buff. Ultimate Radiance increased on by power shield by. Alright, so overall, Disciplined Priests are getting a huge buff. Let's go down to Rogue, Outlaw. Combat Stamina. Stamina bonus reduced by 5%, was 10%. Okay, so they got a little bit of a buff. Outlaw survivability and challenging content has been consistently higher than what we expect. Oh, okay, so this is a nerf actually. Yeah. Damage reduction value reduced from 65% to 35%. Okay, so it's a little bit of a nerf there during Killing Spree. Oh, nice! Shamans are getting some buffs. They needed that, dude. It felt like besides their earthen totems, they did not heal too much. Flame shock damage increased by 10%. Okay, so Ellie's getting some consistent damage, definitely added. Healing wave increased by 6%. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Acid rain? That's pretty cool. Flame shock damage increased by 20%. Lava burst damage increased by 20%. Master of Elements increased the effectiveness of the Shaman's next nature, physical, or frost spell by 20%. Looks like Bresto Shaman's getting a nice buff all around. Alright guys, now we're on to Warlock. Affliction, Harvester of Souls damage increased by 25%. We got Demonology, Reign of Tyranny. Causes Demonic Tyrant to deal 7% additional damage each stack, was 5%. Overall, we're happy with Demonology's AoE capabilities. However, we feel their single target profile needs a bit of help. We're increasing the damage output of Reign of Tyranny to accomplish this. Okay, so it's more single target now. Oh well, it's more AoE damage, but it's good for single target also now. Warrior Thunderclap damage increased by 30% for arms. That's huge, man. Ren's initial damage. Wait, Ren's initial damage only increased. Oh, okay, so the dot wasn't increased. But at least its initial damage was increased, so now it's a little bit more worth using. Cleave increased, Whirlwind increased, Blade Storm increased. Down to Fury. Raging Blow damage increased by 10%. Execute damage increased by 15%. Rampage damage increased by 10%. Annihilator damage increased 15%. So Fury's just getting huge buffs all around. Oh, good. Because I didn't like how strong Prout was compared to the other tanks. So it's good that they're reducing it a little bit so all the tanks become a little bit more viable. Alright guys, now on to the big stuff. Now we're on player versus player. In addition to the above notes in 10.05, during scheduled weekly maintenance on Tuesday, January 20th, we will make a number of tuning adjustments to specializations based on their performance in PvP. It's our intent that these changes help adjust outliers to have a better and more fun gameplay experience in PvP. Primary stat provided by the bonus decreased by 40%. Okay. So they're nerfing the trinkets a little bit. We've seen the overall PvP pacing officially, and it's been very fast as players acquire more gear and tier sets. This leaves less room for players' reactions in conjunction with the rest of the balance changes. We're adjusting the primary stat and stamina bonus to help address this. Oh, the stamina bonus was increased. Okay, so the stat bonus was decreased. That's cool. I like that. That strike. Healing is no longer reduced in PvP. Was reduced by 25%. This is freaking huge. This is huge, man. Because now you can Death Strike and it's actually worth it. I will now be using Death Strike, guys. Before, I literally did not use it. At least against Magic comps, because it did not feel like it did anything compared to all my other passive defensives. Enfeebles enemies' damage reduction against the Death Knight is now reduced by 33% in combat. Okay, so now your ghoul reduces that a little bit. Your ghoul's damage reductions reduced. Rune of Spell Warning Absorb Shield is now 33% effective in PvP. Oh my god, guys. These are huge nerfs to Death Knight. You will now be dying to Ellie Shamans and Mages way faster now. Unholy Necrotic Wound from Necrotic Wounds now absorbs 4% of healing, was 5%. That's actually a decent nerf right there. And heals the Death Knight for 4%. So their overall healing is getting smashed over the head right now. Death Knight is going to be a decent amount weaker after this. Not like we didn't deserve some of these debuff or these nerfs, but yeah. Virulent Plague no longer deals increased damage in PvP, was 30%. This is huge, man. Unholy Death Knight just getting so many different nerfs. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 nerfs for Unholy, man. If you count the Necrotic Wounds. Let's go down to Druid. Rake damage reduced by 18% in PvP. Rip damage reduced by 18% in PvP. Good, man. Druids freaking needed this so bad. They were so strong. Ferocious Bite damage reduced by 25% in PvP. Was 20%. Alright. Balance. Orbit Breaker now resets its count when entering in an arena match. Alright, full moon damage reduced by to 60% power, was 80% power when triggered. Wraith deals 50% increased damage. Starfire deals 50% increased damage, was 20%, so a nice little 30% buff. Star Surge gets a nice 20% buff. New Moon, Half Moon, and Full Moon deal 20% increased damage. Oh my god, dude. Balanced Druids are getting buffs left and right, but it looks like they nerfed their 2-piece set a little bit. Yeah, 2-piece and 4-piece set got nerfed. Let's go down to Feral. Feral Frenzy damage reduced by 10% in PvP combat on top of the nerfs that they got up above, which is just crazy. Now Ferals are getting huge nerfs. Was 38% in PvP and Feral and Resto only. Wow, so that's another huge nerf. Oh, good. Resto Druid's got that healing nerf too. Good. Frenzy regen was way too strong. Budding Leaves is now 50% effective in PvP, was 70%. Not even sure what that one is. Let's go down to Evoker. Devastation Deep Breath deals 20% increased damage, was 40%, so that's a nice little nerf right there. Spellweaver's Dominance grants 20% increased critical strike damage, was 30%. That's another little nerf right there. Disintegrate deals 20% increased damage in PvP, was 15%. Assure Strike deals 20% increased damage in PvP. Okay, so these two got buffed, so that's good. At least they didn't get nerfed all around. Let's go to Preservation. Dream Protection, heal over time effect can now be dispelled. That's good. Dream Protection now costs 4% base mana. On to Hunter. Roar of Sacrifice now deals 10% of the damage the target suffers to the pet, was 20%. That's good, because I heard a lot of hunters complaining about that. Their pet just getting cleaved down instantly. Mage Arcane Bombardment is now 40% effective in PvP, was 65%. Monk Mistweaver. Mana regeneration now decreased by 10% in PvP, was 15%. Okay, so this is a little bit of a buff. Monks are getting some more mana regeneration. Enveloping Mist Healing increased by 25%. That's good. They have a strong hot now. Paladin. Divine Protection now reduces damage by 30% while in PvP, was 20%. Oh damn, that's awesome. And this is for all Paladins, so that's good. Flash of Light healing increased by 15%. They definitely needed some of this, because some of those, yeah, like Flash of Light didn't even seem like it was that great before. Consecration damage increased by 50%. I don't know how that's going to affect anything. I don't know what that is. Holy, Reckoning PvP talent now increases the damage of Next Judgment by 25%, was 100%. That's good, because they were getting like 100k judgments, which is just nuts. Holy Light now heals for 75% more in PvP combat, was 40%. Wow, that is huge, man. That's huge. Holy Shock healing increased by 15%. Wow, dude. Holy Pallies are getting so much better. These are huge upgrades. Ret, Final Reckoning damage. Oof. I knew these were coming, man. I knew it. When you see Rets hitting for 285,000 with Royal Decree, Radiant Decree or whatever, like, dang. You know it's just way overtuned. Paladin Retribution class set 2-piece bonus. Now increase the damage of Judgment, Blade of Justice, Wake of Ashes by 10%. Was 15%, so they got another nerf right there. Crusader Strike now deals 80% increased damage in PvP, was 30%. Huh. This is probably like the tiniest damage buff, but it's a pretty decent percentage difference. Healing Hands now 70% effective in PvP, was 50%. Templar's Verdict damage increased by 10%. Okay. Final Verdict damage increased. So maybe their damage is the same overall, but it looks like Radiant Decree and Final Reckoning just got smashed. But overall, it looks like a decent buff. Exorcism damage is increased by 80%. At least like passive damage buff to all these little smaller moves. Alright, now we're at Shamans. Earth Unleashed from Unleash Shield now breaks on damage and lasts 2 seconds, was 4 seconds. Healing Stream Totem. Healing is increased by 30%, was 38%. Okay, so they just nerfed Healing Stream a little bit. Water Shield now returns 1% mana when struck by melee, was 2%. So they're nerfing their mana regen a little bit against melee. Stormkeeper's damage increase is now 67% effective in PvP. Good, man, because if anyone's been watching Sea-Doo lately, he's been just smashing people with like 150k storm bolts, or not storm bolts, yeah, LE bolts. Elemental Shaman's Dragonflight Season 1 2-piece bonus has been 50% reduced effectiveness in PvP. That is a huge nerf to Shamans right there. Primordial Surges, Lava Burst damage increase is now 60% effective. Dang. So LE's just got a straight up just nerf, nothing else really changed. Warrior Thunderous Roar talent, bleed damage no longer deals reduced damage in PvP, was 50%. Guys, this is ginormous. Warriors are going to be a huge problem now. If you are a Death Knight or any other class that likes to be alive, this is going to be huge. Warriors are now going to rock people. I've already seen them doing well, but this is going to make it so much better, because on top of this, Rend is also getting a 15% damage increase for its initial tick when you first apply it to somebody, so that'll stack really nice. Uproar talent no longer has reduced cooldown effect in PvP, was 50% reduced. Fury Slaughterhouse PvP talent now lasts 16 seconds. Oh, this is awesome, dude, because Fury Warriors were saying that their healing reduction was just too unreliable. They couldn't keep it up. It's just not good to be that short while also having to stack it multiple times. Storm of Steel talent no longer has reduced damage reduction in PvP, was 50% reduced. Oof, okay. Okay, so that's a bit of a nerf right there. So overall, guys, it looks like a lot of these nerfs and buffs are pretty healthy ones. I really like the ones Paladin for sure, because red Paladins were hitting like ridiculous numbers. Doesn't look like Windwalker's got any changes this patch. Looks like everything's almost the same, at least in the PvP section. Where Sacrifice now deals 10%. Yeah. So Hunter's a little bit more smooth to play now. Evoker doesn't one-shot people as much, it seems like, but they still do decent damage with these two buffs right here. Frenzy regen nerfed for Resto and Feral, much needed. Feral damage nerfs all over. Boomkin looks like they're getting damage buffs all over. That's needed because I haven't seen a Boomkin in I don't know how long. Death Knights, really sad, guys. Unholy DKs are getting a lot of nerfs, but they were definitely needed. Way too high sustained damage and survivability. I think the Trinket buffs and nerfs are really interesting. Let's see how this plays out. Everyone having more health and doing a little bit less damage, just like a tiny bit. Yeah, Fury damage increases. Arms damage increases. Warlock. Harvester of Souls damage increased by 25%. Resto Shaman. Looks like they just nerfed their damage a little bit. At least for Stormkeeper and PvP, but they buffed these other two, so they'll be doing a little bit more. Outlaw Rogue got nerfed a little bit. Discipline Priest. Huge buffs overall. Huge buffs. This one looks like a small buff to Holy Pally right there, but then if you count all the PvP buffs they got down below, it ended up being huge, guys. Mage buffs all around, we like to see it. We haven't seen enough mages besides Zaryu. Resto, Verdancy healing reduced, that's good. Alright guys, these are the nerfs and buffs that are happening on Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch every day, starting around 3 p.m. Eastern, over at twitch.tv/jokestv. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for sticking on by. Guys, I just wanted to add some notes here at the end. If you are a Death Knight main, which you most likely are if you're following this channel, Death Knights are still going to be viable. If you consider what's been nerfed, they haven't really been nerfed if you're fighting any physical comps. They're mostly buffed if you're fighting into a warrior and a hunter, or a feral and a hunter, or something like that. But versus casters now, you will be able to die. But luckily on Tuesday they are nerfing a lot of the one-shots that casters have, like Ellie Shaman and Devastation Evoker, so we're not going to need to worry about it as much. Will I still be using Runa Spell Warding? Yes, I will, against mostly... It's going to be like, I think, just dot damage now. Like, I don't think it's going to be absorbing too much of any huge hits. Like, if you get hit by a Glacier Spike, it's pretty much going to be all over if your healer is in a polymorph regardless right now. I think the Death Strike increase is much needed, because I didn't even use Death Strike before. It felt like a waste healing for like 18,000 sometimes. Like, it's not even like a melee attack for some characters. Overall, I think it's a healthy nerf. I think Death Knights needed it overall. I think specifically in Holy did also, which they did get the nerf a little bit harder than Frost, obviously, as they nerfed their damage of Virulent Plague. I still think Death Knight's going to be just as good. None of our damage was nerfed at all for at least Frost Death Knights, so we're going to be almost the exact same, besides having our Spell Warden reduced by a decent amount. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Peace out.